There are a lot of different types of mental health care. So I'll start with me. My license, I'm an LPC MHSP. LPC stands for Licensed Professional Counselor. Dash MHSP is Mental Health Service Provider. What that means is that I have a bachelor's degree, I have a master's degree in counseling, and I'm licensed through the state of Tennessee. The MHSP is the part of my license that allows me to diagnose people with mental health disorders. So anxiety disorders, depressive disorders, we won't get into all that because I get a little cynical when I talk about the pathologizing of human beings through the mental health system. But anyway, so that's what I have. I have a master's degree. I'm a licensed professional counselor. All right. There's a bunch of people that can do counseling or therapy, and maybe we'll address the differences in another video, but for instance, I work a lot with licensed clinical social workers, LCSWs. The thing is, LCSWs can do the exact same thing that I can do. They can also be counselors. Now, social workers can do even more than I can do, actually, because someone with a degree in social work could work in the school system, they could work at a hospital, they could work for an insurance company, they could work in all different areas. They could work for a Department of Children's Services, all of those types of things in different roles, but they can also do counseling. So you might see LCSW after a counselor's name, and they're probably good counselors too. They may or may not have as much training in specifically one-on-one or marriage and family counseling because they get a broader education in a bunch of stuff. Which brings me to the next thing, marriage and family therapist. What's the difference in a counselor and a marriage and family therapist? They're very, very similar. When I went to school, we all started together. So LPCs and LMFTs, licensed marriage and family therapists, have the same basis in their education. Marriage and family therapists kind of split at a point and go do a little bit more work on what's called family systems, the dynamics between different people, not just one individual. But here's the thing, I'm an LPC, but I do a ton of marriage counseling. So an LMFT, great counselors as well. LPCs, great counselors. LCSWs, great counselors. Now, most of those people are going to have a master's degree in some type of mental health, social work, psychology, something like that, okay? Now, let's move to the doctors. This is where it gets a little more complicated. Now, I could be an LPC and I could go on and get my PhD. I haven't done that because I don't really care to. And so you may find someone that is a doctoral level counselor, okay? They have a PhD in counseling. It doesn't mean they're a better counselor. It just means they paid a lot more money and did a lot more education, and they went a little bit further with their education. In this field, though, experience reigns supreme, okay? So you want somebody that has some experience and that you connect well with, not necessarily more education, if that makes sense. So the last one that I'm going to say is a psychiatrist. Actually, there's two more. A psychiatrist these days, they don't do counseling. So back to my friend that said, I have somebody that writes me prescriptions. They're getting prescriptions. Most psychiatrists are only going to see you for about 15 minutes. They're going to write you a prescription, and that's about all they're going to do for you, okay? If they're not also sending you to a counselor, I would be a little suspect of that person because, a lot of the research shows that counseling and medication management need to go together, because just taking pills is not necessarily going to be the thing that fixes your life. So if you're only seeing a psychiatrist, consider seeing a counselor as well. The last one that I'll mention is a psychologist. A psychologist does have a doctorate degree. Some psychologists do some counseling. A lot of psychologists are getting into more supervisory roles in big organizations, or they're doing a lot of testing. So if there's like mental health testing and stuff, psychologists are going to do more stuff like that. So your counselors are mostly going to have master's degrees, some doctorate degrees. And I'll mention one more. This video is long, but I think the people that want to watch it are going to continue to watch it. The last thing I'll say is pastoral counselors and biblical counselors. Now, these people may have no degree. They may have no experience in mental health, and they are going to approach things from strictly a Christian standpoint. So be cautious. A lot of these are good people, but they are not trained or licensed and should not be treating things like severe depression, suicidality, those types of things. They should be approaching things from a biblical lens, which is incredibly valuable. So just be cautious and make sure you find the right person that's right for you to deal with the things you're struggling with. Okay? That's a lot. I dumped a lot on you. If you have more specific questions, leave a comment, shoot me a message, an email, and I will answer more questions on the next video. Bye, guys.